Thank you, George. Thank you to yourselves. I would like to do a little assessment real quick. A long time ago in history, as we look back, on Thursday morning, I made a wild prediction. It's a historical fact now, but it's a long, long time ago, but that was Thursday morning. I said this would be the best mental health therapy retreat that we've had. And here's what I've observed, but I could be wrong. But I've seen black people busy with each other from can't see morning to can't see night, loving on each other, healing each other, networking with each other, and giving themselves that much needed therapy that is not given to us by others. So that was my prediction. I don't know if that's happened or not, but my vision, I got cataracts, so maybe I'm not seeing what we're talking about. I'd like to walk up here right now as quickly as possible because time is of the essence. Dr. Wendy Muhammad and what happened to Willie Barney. I need you to come up here right now. So here's what we're doing. We know we have challenges. We know we have things that bother us. We know we have things that we would like to somehow eliminate from our space so that we can work more cleanly, more efficiently, seamlessly, whatever positive we put on it. But we know that we have things, many of these things that we are challenged by right now today, we have been challenged by for our whole life as we remember it. Because they might have started when we were 5 or 6, or when we were 16. But there's still things that are hanging around our space. How many people have things that they recognize what I'm talking about? Just let me see hands. Things that have just been there for so long, we've been working at them, but they're still there. So what we've done with this conference, I leave for Ghana on next Saturday. So we have done this closing the same way that we'll do it today. I'm going to give you an instruction so you work quickly. You're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to put every malady, problem, challenge that you want eliminated on that piece of paper. Things that you worked on, but they're still there. Or things that just cropped up and they're now present. And I'm going to take them with me to Ghana. And we're going to have our traditional burning ceremony. And we're going to send all those problems back to your ancestors and let them fix those problems. So that you can work on what you're working on, free of the challenge of continuing to work with these things. So that's what you're working on, and then we're going to tell you where to deposit them. In the meantime, I want to show you a little quick African culture. Dr. Muhammad? I noticed Dr. Muhammad this morning was dressed so elegantly that I went over to her and said, oh my God, you're like a Muslim queen. And she said, isn't this fabulous? I said, yeah, this is fabulous. She said, but that necklace you got on, I'm gonna have to get that. That's really fabulous too. So African culture demands that here's the bracelet to go with it. So we know that we have to connect with ourselves, and you never know what little thing you might be able to do that's a really big thing for someone else. So the little things that you do, you have no idea how big they may be for someone else. And you can always replace something. I can get another necklace. I can get another thing. But I can't necessarily make the day of someone else if we want everything for ourselves. So the things that people admire about you, you have to give them things to her. That part of you that they admire, you have to give that. So thank you so much. have something that I want to share with Willie Barney. Willie Barney would be the icon in the dictionary that goes with the proverb, a word to the wise is sufficient. He heard one conversation from George Fraser that a whole bunch of other people heard too for 30 years. But a word to the wise should be sufficient. And Willie has understood that, and he has manifested that. And he recognizes that everything that he's been doing, he recognized the original source of it and how he's manifested it through the collective work and interaction and integration of all these other people around him, working with him and through him. So I have something I've had for 20 years, and I want you to have it. It's an African artifact. They tell us that ebony wood is really, really, really expensive and scarce, but it's laying on the ground. So a carver can pick up a piece of ebony wood that costs nothing and carve out what is referred to as a life tree. And you look at this closely and you see it's a lot of people all interconnected. And it stands for the principle that George has been trying to get us to understand in a contemporary way, that there is no such thing, there's no such thing as an individual accomplishment. There's only an accomplishment that's made by lots of people making a small contribution to the actual outcome. So I want you to put this in your office. So have we written up all the problems you're going to give me? But nobody's leaving for Ghana tonight and leaving me with your job, are you? So put all your problems on these papers. And as Dr. Freddie Haynes has said, and other people have said, don't assume that what I'm asking you to do is meaningless. We wouldn't do this. African people don't do things that don't work. So what I'm asking you to do, we know these things work. So you get all your things on paper, then you're going to put it, fold it up. We're not going to read it. I'm going to take it. We're going to do the ritual. On other times, we have actually recorded what we've done and shown it. So we're going to do the same thing with all your problems. We have African spirituals that talk about lay those problems down too, don't we? So you think somebody just made up these lyrics and they don't refer to anything for real? So we're going to have we're going to gather outside. They're going to give us instructions. So as soon as we know the time to move, then we'll gather outside. So you'll follow directions and we will line ourselves up and we will close out. So I am so grateful and thrilled and full that we've had a chance to be together live, and tonight we will see ourselves again. So thank you so much. In the African language of the Fante language, thank you is Madasi. So I say Madasi, Madasi, Madasi P.
Madasi.